Hi everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and in today's episode of Dye Time I am not wasting any dye. This here, I was trying to make a sort of darker red, pink, dark pink sort of colour, and I mixed together some fuchsia red and a tiny bit of raven black, and I got this really nice sort of dark purpley colour. Not what I wanted, but I'm not going to waste it either. So I've got here 10 meters of 6-stranded 100% cotton floss, and I'm just going to paint this on so I don't waste it. I'm going to paint on half, and I'm going to do something else with this half. But if you've seen my videos, you know I don't like to waste dye. This was an experiment. I was trying to make a sort of darker red, but it didn't work. So let's use this. Now this cotton has been soaking in soda ash and water. I'm just going to massage this in a bit. I want it to go all the way through. Now I'm using Fibre reactive dyes here, because if I want to dye cotton and animal-based fibres, you can only use Fibre reactive dyes. You can't use acid dyes or food colouring. This should go all the way through. Yep, give it a nice little massage there. Now I have got some extra floss here, just to try and mop up some of this. I'm just going to move that, use this to get up that extra. So I always find when I use these extra skeins just to mop up the extra, I always create some really nice colourways. There we go. Now I'm going to make sure my hands are completely dry. As you see, I've got my gloves on. I've got a mask on as well, because I'm now going to speckle the raven black on the other sides. Hopefully this will create an interesting colourway. Just going quite lightly. Right, when I moved this, I wasn't very careful, as you can see. I managed to get some colour on the white side, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. There we go. That's down one side. Now I'm just going to wipe my fingers on this extra skein here. There we go. Now I want to make sure that my hands are completely dry when I go into the powder, because I don't want to introduce moisture and make the dye all clump together. I also want to make sure they're clean, because I don't want it to contaminate this powder with another colour from here. So flips that over. So I'm going to try speckling on the other side now. Just got the tiniest bit between my fingers and just rubbing them together like this. A tiny bit more for that end. Oh, there we go. Now I'm just going to, oh, silly me. Oh, got some nice big splodges there. I'm just going to try and separate these strands a bit, so the strands that are in the middle, might be able to get some dye on those. There we go. There must be an easier way of doing this. I've got a towel down on my table, and I've got cling film on top of the towel just to protect my surface, and the cling film I will use to wrap up this floss when I'm finished. But when you've got gloves on, trying to move something that's touching cling film is very, very difficult. There we go. Try not to overdo it. I think that's enough for me today. Put my lid back on there. Now look at this. This is just from wiping my fingers and wiping the sides down. I just wanted to come in close here to see that the Raven Black is breaking into the yellows, reds, and I can see some blues that it is made of. I love how these fibre reactive dyes break apart like this when you speckle with them. I love it. Okay. Now with cotton, you don't need heat to set this. All you need is time, really. So I'm going to wrap it up in this cling film that I use to protect my surface, and then we leave it for at least 24 hours, probably 48 hours, and then we can wash and see what we've got. And I'm not going to forget about my little mop either. That can go in a separate piece of cling film. And again, just going to leave this for 24 to 48 hours in a place that's not too hot, not too cold, and then we can see what we've got. It's about 48 hours-ish later, so let's unravel this, and we can see, ooh, have a look here. You see the dye has broken on the cling film. It's, oh, I've never seen that before. Nice. There we go. Right. I'm just going to rinse this off with cool tap water. You can see I'm still wearing my gloves because there usually is a bit of residue, dye residue. Yeah, see, you can see there's a little bit there when I squeeze. That's to be expected with cotton. So I'm just going to use a little bit of washing up liquid, and I'm going to keep rinsing this through until the water's running clear. I won't film it all because it'll be very boring watching me wash this, but hopefully it won't take too long. And here is our beautiful finished dyed floss. Now, I really like how this has turned out because you can see you've got the nice solid purple. Yes, there are a couple of spots on there where the dye transfers, but generally that is a nice solid purple. And then here, the reason I wanted to speckle with Raven Black is because it breaks into all the colours that it's made of. And you can see here, it's got the yellows and blues and pinks, and you've still got black there as well, but it's all totally random and you can't predict where all the breaks will happen. So that's why I will probably speckle with Raven Black more than anything else, because this beautiful colour. And then we've got the floss that I used as a bit of a mop. I used to wipe my fingers on and wipe the table down, and you can see this has broken as well. This was mainly the Raven Black, so you can see that we have got the pops of blues, pinks and yellows that we do from here, but it is a lot paler because the dye wasn't straight on here. I was just wiping my fingers and wiping the surface, but it's still a really lovely random effect, which I'm very happy with. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Do please click like and subscribe to my channel. I try to produce a new dyeing tutorial every Monday, which is usually published between about 6 and 8 PM UK time. And I like to make each video different, so I might dye a different yarn base, or I might dye some floss or some cross-stitch fabric or something completely different. And I might experiment with different techniques or dyes. So I do try to make each video different. Thank you so much for watching.